Hello there. Hello, I'm Julie. Here we are doing some yin yoga. Yin where we hold for between 3, 6, 8 minutes. So if any of the poses you really feel relaxed in and feel you can go deeper, when I say move on, it's perfectly fine to stay and relax a bit more, release a bit more. It's your hour to do as you please. Move on or come out if it doesn't feel comfortable. Find maybe different feet position or hand position will change the intensity or target area of the stretch. So today we're going to use some blocks and a belt or a tie or a scarf to access the hamstrings a bit better, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So we're going to start with just the wind relieving pose, which is lying on our back with the knees towards the chest, and then have the belt handy as we go into the hamstring stretch straight after that. So just lying on our backs for 3 minutes to start, and we're breathing naturally. So we just want to breathe naturally in and out through the nose, and the knees in towards the chest. Try to feel the back of your head as it rests into the floor. Maybe hold on to opposite elbows. Closing the eyes, chin towards the chest. So notice now for about the next 2 minutes how it feels to be still and quiet. And then we bring the feet down to the floor, and just keeping the legs bent, feet apart, knees apart. Bring your arms out to the side and move into the slow windshield wipers, so taking knees down to the side, knees to the top, and pause to readjust the back, and then knees down to the opposite side. And in this rebound or counter pose, we want to feel and notice Notice where a stretch might be, notice where a sensation might be. And these towards the ceiling again, now stretching out both legs. And stretching the arms above the head. So point the fingers away, point the toes away, really stretch. And slowly bring the arms down. And next we're doing a hamstring stretch. So we might need the belt to go around the sole of the foot. So here you can either have your left leg along the floor or the left leg bent with the foot flat into the floor, and then lifting the sole of the right foot up towards the ceiling. So try not to, as you bring your right leg towards your face, try not to lift the tailbone and the sacrum off the floor. That needs to stay on the floor. So it might mean that the right leg goes away slightly. If you do extend your left leg along the floor, the right leg will definitely go away. So that's why I keep my left leg bent. We're going to hold again for 3 minutes here. Trying to not strain to draw the right leg in. Try not to grip the belt too hard. Trying to keep the throat and the jaw relaxed. Resting the back of your head onto your mat. And feeling a gentle stretch in the right hamstring, maybe the right calf. So for any pose that doesn't feel great or doesn't feel comfortable, sometimes to pass the time, it helps to focus on counting our breath. So we say count the breath and making it a 10-second breath or a 12-second breath by inhaling for 4, pause for 1, exhale for 4, pause for 1 before you inhale again. So if we do 6 10-second breaths, that's 60 seconds past. And close the eyes. So another 3 breaths. Now feel your back as it releases down into the floor, the whole of the back. Slowly stretch out the left leg, bring the right foot down, and stretch out both legs.
Noticing the difference, comparing the difference between the right and the left leg. Then we change sides, so you can have the right leg stretched out along the floor or the right leg bent. Just adjusting the pelvis, the back, and stretching up the sole of the left foot, taking your belt around that sole of the foot. Notice, is the left leg more closer in, or feels looser or more flexible? Relaxing the throat and the jaw, maybe closing the eyes, draw the chin towards the chest. Again, try not to bring your tailbone off the floor. You want to feel the tailbone into the floor. And remember, you can work on your 10-second breath again if you like. And another 3 breaths. Bring down the left foot, stretch out the left leg and the right leg, and notice now the difference between the left and the right leg. Bring both feet together. And take a deep breath in, stretch the arms all the way above the head. Point the fingers, point the toes away. Really feel the stretch. And bring the arms back down. Bring both knees into the chest, just hugging the knees in. Next we're going to stretch the outer side of the body in Banana Asana. So for Banana Asana, first of all we start with the body in a straight line. Start by moving our feet over to the right hand side, crossing our left ankle over our right or the right ankle over the left. The main thing is to remember to keep your left hip down. Then we're shuffling our shoulders and our head over to the right hand side, stretching both hands above the head, stretching the fingertips away and taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand. We're holding here for 3 minutes again. So it's a stretch for our left hip, our left lower back, the outside of the body on the left hand side. So ready to move out. So shuffling the shoulders and the head back to the centre, releasing the arms down, and then uncrossing the ankles, so bending the legs, just bringing the knees into the chest. Moving to the other side now for Banana Asana. So body's in a straight line to start, walking the feet over to the left and choose right ankle over left or left ankle over right. I usually get more of a stretch if I take my right ankle over my left, and then shuffling the head, shoulders over to the left, stretching the arms above the head, stretching away, and right hand takes hold of left wrist. Focus on a smooth and even deep breath. Making sure to keep your right hip down. And coming out slowly across the ankles. Shuffle, head and shoulders back to the centre, release the arms, bend the legs up, knees into the chest. We're going to lift up slowly, either rolling up, drawing the tummy in, or taking the knees down to the side. Bring ourselves up. Okay, so next we're going to do swan or deer. So I'll give you the option of swan first, sorry, the option of deer first. So left shin is in front, and then the right knee goes back. So we can either rest on our elbows, we can rest on our hands, and even if we want to, we can go into twisted deer, leaning our elbows over to the left. So that's the deer.
The swan is the same position with the left shin, but the right leg is straight back. So we're turning our toes under to stretch the right leg back a bit more. We can stay in proud swan, pressing the hands into the floor, either forward. Hands can go a bit back for more compression with the lower back, a bit more strengthening here for the lower back. And here we'll be stretching our abdominals, stretching our chest. So again, 3 minutes. So if you wanted to, with the swan, sleeping swan is on the elbows or head rests on the floor. Try not to lean too much over to your left. Try to have your hips central. And we want to be feeling it probably in our left glute, our left hip. We don't want any pain in the left knee. We might feel it also in the top of our right thigh. If you are tilting over to the left quite a lot, you can bring a block underneath your left hamstring or your left glute to just prop yourself up slightly. You're going to lift out of your deer or your swan slowly. So coming to all fours in your own time. Maybe saying ah loudly and then stretching out that left leg. So onto the toes of the left leg, pushing the back of the left leg up, and then changing sides. And then moving on to the other side of deer and swan. So now bringing the right shin forward. So the right leg's at right angle, and then that left leg behind bent at right angle as well. So hands can stay up
or hands, elbows forward, and then if you want to, you could do the twisted deer, where you're walking your elbows over to the right hand side. So great twist for the back, nice stretch for the hips. And if you want to try swan this side, here bringing the hands forward first. The shin might not be parallel now with the front of the mat, that's fine. So turning the left toes under, stretching the left leg back. Again, we can stay in the proud swan and bring our hands back a bit for deeper stretching the front of the body. Remember, we don't want to be leaning over to our right too much. We can have a block or something underneath the right hip or right hamstring. Resting forward if that feels nice. Another 3 breaths. And then we lift out slowly. So pressing up slowly. Coming to all fours. Then gingerly just extending that right leg back. And the left leg back. And next we're going to move into either tadpole or frog. So I'm going to roll up a mat onto double like that because I've got the knees on the hard surface. So knees, we'll start with the knees apart, as wide apart as they'll go, and we start with the toes together, that's tadpole, and we can bring our bottom to our heels and rest down on our elbows. So that's the first option. More intense is to take the feet away and then can walk the elbows forward or walk the elbows back for more intensity. Then when the intensity eases off, we see if we can take the knees further apart. We can rest our head on the block if we want to. So the further we push our hips back, the deeper the stretch is. So if you're in tadpole, a bit more relaxing. I'm going to hold again for 3 minutes. So the stretch is here for our outer hips and our inner hips. So try to notice where you feel the stretch the most, the abductors or the adductors. Now we're trying to focus more on the exhale, so deepening the exhale. So if your inhale is a count of 4, try and make your exhale a count of 8. We've got about a minute left. So maybe see if you can go to another edge, so knees apart a little bit more or feet out. So if your feet are out, that might help you take the knees apart a bit. Also try to flex your heels away, toes towards your face. Still focusing on double the count for your exhale. Really intense stretch is the frog. Okay, and lifting up slowly, so pressing into the hands, drawing the knees together with relief, then just relaxing back in child pose, so knees just about hip width, bringing the bottom down to the heels. Maybe taking the hips side to side. And lift up slowly. So from here, a bit more release now for our back in supported bridge. So if you have a cushion or a couple of blocks, that's what we need for our support. We're going to rest our sacrum or our tailbone on the block, or blocks, or books. So our back is on the mat and we're resting just the lower spine on the block. So we're edging back. So we can have the legs bent. Start with the feet flat on the floor. You want to feel as though the lower back and the tailbone is resting onto the support, but not kind of jagging into your back in any way. And then if you want to, they can try different leg positions. So we could have the legs out straight, which is definitely more of a stretch for the abdominals and the quads and the hip flexors. Or you could have constructive rest legs, so that's our knees together and the feet out, which is great to release the femurs back into the hip sockets. Or butterfly, which is soles of the feet together and the knees out to the side. So whichever one you've chosen, you could alternate and change a bit if you want to. Bring the hands onto the tummy and feel now the sensation of the tummy rising and falling with your inhale and your exhale. So this full diaphragmatic breath. Which brings us into the rest and digest system, the parasympathetic nervous system, one which relaxes us, reduces our heart rate, reduces blood pressure, so for about another minute, totally focusing on your breath. Breathing as deeply as possible, making sure you're exhaling as fully as possible. So whichever leg position you've chosen, removing your support gently, little by little, And try not to bring the back down too quickly. So releasing your back into the mat as slowly as possible, bringing the tailbone down last. So slowly, slowly, until the whole of the back is resting into the floor, and bringing both knees in towards the chest, hugging the knees in. Next we're going to try our reclining swan, or thread the needle, or figure four. And we might see if we can go into shoelace as well. So both feet onto the floor and right ankle over the left knee. So that might be enough. Feel the back as it sinks into the mat. Maybe pushing the right knee away. With all this hip opening we've done, it might feel less tight than usual. We can lift the left foot off the floor. We can draw the hands underneath the left knee or interlock the fingers over the top of the left knee. Again, the key is to keep the whole of the back pressing into the floor, not lifting the left knee in towards the chest too much, that your tailbone lifts off. Take the left knee away maybe a little bit. And either stay in this figure four shape, or you want to try this shoelace, take away the hands and edge your right knee so it's in line with your left knee. You can draw both knees in towards the chest, so making a shoelace shape with the knees, or you can hold on to the outside of the left ankle with the right hand and the outside of the right ankle with the left hand. And draw the feet up towards the head. And quite an intense stretch. Another 3 breaths. And release the feet to the mat and cross the ankles. Adjust the back and then left ankle over right thigh. That might feel a bit fragile on the left hip, so gently easing the left knee away. So it can stay there, or lifting the right foot off the floor hands underneath the right knee or on top of the right knee. Might feel quite nice to take the knees side to side. Then if you enjoy the shoelace shape, edging the left knee over to the right a little bit, so both knees are shoelace-ish, and then knees in towards the chest. And then again, we can take hold of the outside of the feet with opposite hands. So really focusing on slowing the breath down. Bringing out slowly, so releasing the feet, releasing the knees and crossing, stretching out both legs, stretch the arms above the head. Bring the arms down, bend the knees up with the feet flat on the floor, arms out to the side, knees together, feet together, and knees down to the side. Few breaths, just knees down to the side. And then slowly knees to the centre, knees down to the opposite side. And knees slowly to the centre again. Readjusting the back as we go into final relaxation. So toes are slightly out and the legs are either straight or bent. Arms are at the side with the palms up. And just feeling as though you can relax and let go. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Breathe in. So here for 2 minutes, going to focus on inhaling that 3-part breath. So it's inhaling, the tummy rises, and then we're breathing into the side ribs, they expand, and the chest expands. Then as you breathe out, chest, side ribs, back ribs, tummy, all release. So 2 minutes focusing on a deep as breath, as full as breath, full body expansion on the inhale, full body release on the exhale. Leaving the 3-part breath behind as we come out slowly, a final relaxation. Bringing the feet together, stretching out the legs, and taking a breath in, stretching the arms above the head. Really point the fingertips away, point the toes away. And bringing our arms down. Draw the knees into the chest, knees side to side. And stay a bit more in the relaxation if you like, or pull yourself up slowly. It's gone very dark. Okay, thank you. See you soon. Bye.